Only two things can get you through this, man. That's patience and persistence. We all aspire, we all have the same emotions. You know, no matter who you are, where you're from, we all have the same emotions. You know, we all want to be successful. You know, we all have the same fears of failure. We all have, this feelings of abandonment. We all, want love. Have such a strong belief in yourself that you can quiet out all the outside noise, because you're gonna need that on every step of the way. There are people that are projecting their fears and their shortcomings and failures on you. And you have to be very careful, with that. People telling you can't do that. Why can't I? Because they may have tried, or they don't believe that they can do it. And it's not really about you, it's about what they feel and their fear inside. So you have to be strong enough and resilient to believe in whatever it is you're trying to do. My uncle, he was telling me, like, my uncle said I never sold 1 million records. I sold 1 million records like 1 million times. Are you crazy? How are you gonna do that? How? I'm sure there's things that I do now that he can't believe that I was able to accomplish. But he couldn't even see it at the time. So he was just projecting, putting his fears on me.
That's how we on it. Lock my body, can't trap my mind. Easily explain why we adapt to crime. I'd rather die enormous than live dormant. That's how we on it. And you gotta understand the reason, right? Why does that guy think like that? Right? How do you arrive at that point? You gotta also look at that. You have to look at that. You gotta look at the environments and places we live in, and how things are set up, and how things are structured, and how we're always the last on the totem pole, even from our schooling to our roads to, everything that all the obstacles that's placed in front of us. Even our living conditions. You live in a project, someone lives here, 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 and here. You have to deal with all these different type of personalities. You're in the box. Someone's above you, below you, to the right of you, and to the left of you. And every day you have to manage that circle. So that's like living dormant. Life is about balance, right? You have to have some type of balance. You have time for work and it's time for play. And if you don't allow these two things to coexist, you have an imbalance. People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same. Like you're doing all this for a reason. And what happens most of the time, people change. People change around you because they start treating you different because of your success. So you are changing. You don't change who you are, the core of who you are, the things you believe, the things you love, and the things you die for, and your principles. You don't change that, but you're gonna change who you are. You're gonna change, you can't do the same things that you can't hang on the corner. Be true to yourself. It sounds like a very simple thing to do, but it's not. It's not simple to do with all the pressures to succeed and all the pressures to, once you succeed, to stay there. You have a belief in yourself, and sometimes, in most cases, it's almost a naivete about who you are and what you can contribute to the game. Belief in oneself and knowing who you are, that's the foundation of everything great.
In life is for your greatest good. No matter how difficult it seems at the time, everything is for your greatest good. It's just clearing you out so you can receive your blessings, even in tough times. Even the tough time is used for us to grow, for us to go through things. So when the good times come, we really appreciate it. But you gotta just believe everything is for your greatest good. And anything you want in life, you just gotta set your intention. When you be that powerful, we're all, every single person here, we're that powerful as human beings. If you set your intention and you believe that shit with your whole soul, 100%, it's gonna happen for you, I promise you. And I'm not saying that because I read it in some book, I'm saying that because I'm standing on this stage tonight. I'm from the bottom, I'm from the mud, I'm from Marcy Projects, I'm from Bedford Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, New York City. And I'm on this stage here tonight doing what I love to do in front of all these beautiful people. And that's because I set my intention. On my first album, I was saying, who's the best MC? Biggie, Jay-Z. I was telling you I was coming. It's the adventure to the planet. Nigga with the solid no fade. I said that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? It's showtime.
Hello, Facebook family. How are you all doing? Hope everything is well. It is 5 o'clock. The day is almost over for most of you all, and the day just not really starting to begin for me for the next 30 minutes. Once again, I want to thank you all for following in with me on my YouTube channel out there in Facebook land, out there in my Instagram, also on my Twitter, and also on my TikTok. I greatly appreciate it. Once again, we are here talking about my book that I wrote, The Untold Story. That's right, avoiding the traps in the automotive industry. That's pretty good, pretty good. You got somebody who had 30 years in the business and decided to share this knowledge with you all so you can avoid those traps in the car industry. Someone sent me a little text message earlier on YouTube saying there are a lot of traps out there. I said, yeah, man, there's a lot of traps out there. From the time you start thinking about buying a car to the time you get to the dealership to the time you leave, there are a lot of traps out there. And what I know is going to help you in your car buying decision, as maybe you, yourself, your kids, uncles, brothers, cousins, mothers, anybody that you're looking at that's in the market to buy a car sometime soon, is the book for them. Once again, let me go over a couple of things with you. Like I said, you can get this book on Kindle. I'm still inside this promotional program they had me in for the next 3 days. Or no, 4 days, because the day is Wednesday. Start off with this promotion that you can get the book for $1, which started on Monday for 99 cents. And each day it goes up $1 to the 7th day, it goes back up to the original price of $9.95. But after that promotion is over with, then I am going to be giving the book away. I'm going to go to another promotion where I can give it away. That is why I have my GoFundMe page. Let me explain real talk for you all about the GoFundMe page so we can have a real clear understanding. I decided to put this book out a different way. Once again, thinking outside the box. Instead of you purchase it right now, when you purchase the book, the ebook right now, that's the way I set it up so you can get the book right now, immediately to your phone, your iPhone, to your any phone that you have, you can get it to. Your computer, any way you want to have it. You can download it immediately. That's why I did the ebook so that you can be able to get the book right now. But in the process of doing that, like I say, I want to keep the promotion of giving the book away. I feel that strongly that I want everybody to have this book. Is I really want to just give the book away. But in the process of me doing that, I'm still an entrepreneur trying to take care of my family as well, take care of me, and also other businesses that I want to do. That is where the GoFundMe comes in. The GoFundMe is just another avenue for you to invest in me for my business instead of just outright buying the book. I am proving to you all the time while I'm on the social media platform, I'm going to earn your business for you to invest in my business. And the way that I do that is to come on here, plead my case to you, and see if I'm worth investing in. That is the purpose of the GoFundMe page. Most people that do a GoFundMe have something tragic that may have happened to them. They may have something, an emergency come up that may happen to them. I'm not knocking none of those things. But GoFundMe can also help an aspiring entrepreneur to pursue his dream of reaching out and serving others by doing that. Once again, I'm not asking you to break the bank. I'm not asking you to take no loans out, sell your card, or anything like that. All I'm asking is that you read my bio, my heartfelt message, and then just donate what you can. Not donate, take that word out, invest in me. That is the purpose of the GoFundMe page. Once again, in order for you to be able to invest in me, I have to show you why I'm investable. At 2 o'clock, I did a little different twist. I kind of gave you just a brief insight on how I got started in the car business and how that came about. Just give you a little insight about me, who I am as an individual, make it more personable. But I'm here today to talk to you all about, that's right, the book. We also talked about earlier about the Social Innovators Hub 24. Hope you caught. If you didn't catch that, go back and just listen to that, because that's something unique for you entrepreneurs out there. It's very unique. We'll talk more about that later in the week. But how about those traps that this book can help you with? Let's go over something that's in the book that a lot of people been asking about. And one of the questions that I did answer inside the book, and we're going to talk about the trade-in. Now, I'm going to tell you one of the secrets of what I used to do when I was selling cars and a customer had to trade in. Remember, I told you this book is for you to avoid the traps of the car industry. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that I did as a salesperson. Don't even know if they do it today or not, but if they're good, they would. When you're talking about avoiding these traps. So I'm going to give you some insight. Remember, I told you earlier, I'm going to give you some insight on some things that I did so that's not in the book, because I want to help you in your process when you have the book so that different things will come to your mind. So here's one thing that a good salesperson would do. Trading. When I was selling cars, what I would do, I would always carry with me a rag. Preferably a red rag, like a shop towel rag in my back pocket. Sometimes they're blue, sometimes they're red. But I wanted something that had some color to it, not a black one at all. And the reason I would carry that rag is because I'll keep it in my back pocket so that when I go to look at their trade-in, I can devalue their trade-in. Jay, what do you mean by devalue their trade-in? What a salesperson is supposed to do is when you pull your trade-in up, and we always say, hey, are you trading in the car? And you say yes. They say, let me see the key so I can get you a free what? They tell you want to get you a what? Let me look at your car for you so I can go and get you a free appraisal. That's what they say. Let me get you a free appraisal. Does not cost you anything for them to do that. But the reason they want to do that up front so that they can go with you and do the touch feel test and go over your car with a fine-tooth comb so they can devalue your trade-in. Asking you questions without you giving an answer so they can come back later on and say, hey, you remember when I showed you this dent on your car? You remember when I showed you these tires didn't have all the tread on them? Remember when I showed you the AC didn't blow cold? Remember when I showed you that you didn't have a spare tire? Remember when I lift up the hood? Here where the rag comes in. I will pull out the oil stick to check the oil and write it and pull it on the rag to see how dirty it was. Be like, whoa, when the last time you changed your oil? I don't care if you just got to change yesterday. I'm going to always say, whoa, when the last time you changed your oil? If you have a transmission stick, I'll pull that out. Do the same thing. Look at your brake fluid. Look at your water. All of these different things I would use to devalue your trade. I will walk around your trade in and I will touch something and pause a minute and give you that kind of look like, not looking for you to say anything because I'm showing you something that's I can come back to. Then if let's say for instance, if you have a crack in your windshield, I mean, oh man, what happened? You okay? Sympathy. All of these things that we're going to do, because now I'm pre-trial closing you, saying you really want to get out of this car, right? It's a lot of different issues. You spend a lot of money on it. When the last time you had it in the shop? Why did you have it in the shop? Really? Ooh, how much did that cost you? I'm building information so my case later on when I talk to you about why I'm lowballing you on your trade and not giving you as much money as you think you're going to get. So that when you go inside, now when I'm getting ready to show you this new car, I can really stretch out the points that you don't have on your old car. Man, this new car, isn't it a big difference with this leather? Because your car got cloth seats. You don't like that. You wanted this leather, right? Oh, your car didn't have no sunroof. See the sunroof? It goes both ways. You tilting everything. You like that, right? Oh, you only had AM, FM? This has a CD player and XM. All your different stations. Did you get that for 1 year? Did you not know with your car that you get the first oil change is free and your tire rotation is free here? You had to worry about maintenance for the first time. Man, who the first person you going to show your new car to? Because I know you ain't going back in that old car. Whew. It's about time you got it. It's probably on his last leg, huh? Notice how I'm shaking my head up and down. I'm getting information from you to agree with me. This is what we do in the car business, you all. This is what we do to earn you trusting us. Building off of the old, we can build you on the new. So now when I come back, bring that paper out for your trade-in, you may have been thinking that you're going to get, let's use a number for example. You may have thought you was going to get $10,000 for your trade-in. But I come in and say, ooh, well, this issue, that issue, and this issue, and that issue, we're looking at around $4,000. Maybe I can get you extra $500 for your car. Oh, forgot one thing. If you have a bad Carfax, ooh, that works for the dealership favor. Because now, guess what? Mr. Customer, now, I mean, since you got a bad Carfax and saying those different things, it's going to be very hard for us to sell it to the next person because when they look at your car and want to buy it, the first thing they're going to ask us to pull a Carfax. And with that bar Carfax, they're going to want to really negotiate the selling price even more because of those issues. What you going to say? It's on your Carfax, showing what's happened. If you had an accident, it's showing on your Carfax. So now I am devaluing your trade. That number that you thought you was going to get on your trade in is a whole lot less than what you was thinking of. And sometimes, and I would say a lot of times, even when I'm devaluing your trade, I'm still might hold back on your trade. Jay, what do you mean hold back? What that means is if, let's say for example, ACV, okay? Actual cash value. That is what your car is actually worth. It's a difference in ACV and trade allowance. Okay? Well, what's the difference? Okay, my take. ACV is what, when we trade with the dealership appraises your car and they put it on their sheet, they're saying actually what they gave you for the car, what it's worth. Same scenario. Let's say they say that car is actually worth $5,000. They write that down as your trade appraisal. But when they come show it to you, they only offer you $4,000. Okay? So when they do that, that's called holding back on the trade. That's $1,000 worth of commission that salesperson is now getting paid on because he held back $1,000. Okay? Remember, ACV is what the car is actually worth. In this scenario, it's $4,000. I mean, it was $5,000. But when he came to you and presented the numbers to you, they only showed you $4,000. He held back $1,000 so he can get paid commission on that $1,000. That's it. That's ACV. Now, what's over allowance? Same scenario. Let's say, for example, still same car, that car is still worth $5,000. But they showed you $4,000. You said, I'm not taking no less than $5,500 for my car. That's what you negotiate. I want at least $5,500 for my car. I can't take $4,000 for my car. Salesperson working. So you tell me, if I give you $5,500 for your car, we can probably wrap this up. Yeah, we probably can wrap this up. Okay. Customer wants $5,500 for his car. We'll buy right now. You sign. He goes back to the sales manager. Comes back probably about 10 minutes later. Woo! Man, you're a hard negotiator. Manager told me, go ahead and do the deal. You happy? You happy? I'm gonna tell you what just happened. Remember, I was telling you the term over allowance. In your mind, they were only giving you $4,000 for your car. You, being the great negotiator that you are, got them to give you $1,500 more. You're happy. The only thing the dealership lost was $500 because they was holding back $1,000, which is the initial appraisal for your car, and that $500 over allowance that they gave you just comes out of the price of the car. Now, depending on what you bought the car for and why he took that deal, is probably in this scenario is because you overpaid for the car. So they gave up $500. And probably end up making on that scenario, they probably made about $4,000 to $5,000. Because your focus was just on the trade. You didn't focus on the selling price of the car. You didn't focus on the payments of the car. You focused on, I have to have $5,500 for my trade-in. We don't have a deal. And that's what they focused on. What you said. But remember what I was telling you at the beginning of this conversation, what this was about? The untold story? Avoiding the traps of the car industry? What they don't want you to know? The what, the why, and how to buy a car? Well, this is the trap. This is one of the traps. And many of you all that have bought cars know you fell for this trap. Yeah, you fell for the trap. But by getting my book, okay, and if you follow the steps from the beginning, you will recognize the traps when they come. By the time you get to the trade-in part of the deal, you will already know what to expect. You're going to know what to expect when they even ask you the question, do you have a trade-in? Okay, Jay, I got a question for you. So, some people say you should never tell the dealership you have a trade-in to the end. Spring it on them. I got a trade-in. See what they're going to do now. That, okay? Remember I told you I'm going to explain some traps to you. Let me ask you this question. You tell me which one makes more sense. If you wait to after the fact to tell somebody they got a trade in, which you sometimes can work in your behalf because now you probably negotiated the best price that you're going to give, that they're going to give you on the car. Okay? Probably negotiated the best price. Here's the thing, y'all. Every step of that selling process, is a step that you got to take individually by itself. Well, what do you mean, Jay? Okay. It does not matter if you tell them you have a trade in at the beginning or the end. If I'm buying a car, you know when I'm going to tell them I have a trade in? I'm telling them up front, I have a trade in. I want you to go ahead and give me a appraised value for it right now. Why? Because they don't have nothing to compare it to give you an over allowance. There's no car picked out to give you an over allowance to say, hey, okay, your car's worth this, that, and the other. Can't do it. Now you have to show me what you will give me for my car. And if that number from my research doesn't meet the criteria of what my research says that I'm supposed to get for my car, no need for you to show me a car. Because right now, we don't have a deal regardless because you're not even at the value what most KBD dealers say or CarMax may say or people, if you do your research, said your car's worth. One thing I like about technology is that you can go to CarMax and they'll give you a 7-day appraisal, meaning what they will actually stroke you a check for your car. Now that's money. This is what we'll stroke you a check for your car. You can also go on Carvana. Don't have to deal with anybody. Tell them you got a trade in. They will tell you what they will give you for your car. Go on KBB. Put the accurate information in on your car. Don't lie. Put the accurate information. If you got a dent, if it got needs tires, if it got a bad transmission, whatever, be honest with yourself so you can get an accurate number on what your car should appraise for. That way, when you go to the dealership and they come to appraise your vehicle, if that number meets your research on what you feel you're supposed to get for your car, now you can go to the next step of looking for a car. They say, okay, we're going to give you $7,000 for your car. According to your research, that's within a couple of $100 of what you wanted for your car. Let's assume that. That's within a couple of $100. So you're like, okay, based on my research, I'm supposed to get at least $7,000, $7,200 for my car. So we're right there at that number. So when you pick your car out, guess what? They can't come present to you, hey, with this new car, we're going to give you $6,000 because you're buying this car. See? That's a form of bait and switch, right? That's in the book, which means something else, but in this case, it can mean the same thing. It told you one thing, now they're switching it up on you because now that you got this car, they're saying, oh, we did this. No, that's not what you said. You said you're giving me $7,000 for my car. Where's the $7,000 on this piece of paper? Now, keep in mind that when you still pick your car, you still have to do your research on what you are buying. That it is a separate entity from the trade. Remember, I told you, these are all steps that you're doing. Looking for a car. Okay, you got your 3 choices. You know the price range where those 3 choices are supposed to be and what you're willing to pay. That's one process. So when you negotiate in that process, keep that process. Don't combine the two. Just keep that process. Okay, you're going to sell me this car for this much. Okay? This includes all of this, and this. And we'll get into the fees and all this. We're just going to just keep it simple for right now, talking about the base selling price of the car. You negotiated your price of the car because you did your research, and they're right at the number where you want to be at. Earlier, you got your appraised value for your car. That's the second process, right? Because I have the number what I'm going to buy the car for right here. Now, whatever I'm going to do for my trade is either going to make it better or worse. depending if I owe anything on my trade or if I don't. These numbers not going to go anywhere. The only difference going to happen now is what I'm going to be getting for my trade. And if I do owe something on it, what's the balance left? If there's no balance left, then this should be deducted from the selling price of your vehicle. And we're talking about your drive out number. We're not talking about the selling price now. We're talking about your drive out number. That is what the number you want to go to without your trade. Then the only difference it's going to make on that, if you own when you own your vehicle, even if you owe to bank to your vehicle, if you're trading your vehicle in and it's in your name, you get a trading allowance minus a tax credit, which will help you because you're not going to be paying taxes again on your new vehicle because it gives you a tax credit for the taxes you already paid on your old car. If you're trading the car in and it's not in your name or it's with you and someone else, you do not get the tax credit. You just get what they owe giving you for the car. Say that again for you. If the car is in just your name, you get the tax credit if you buy another car, which is going to lower your price because of the tax credit that you get. If it's in you and your spouse's name and you're trading the car in and you're buying the car and it's not being titled the same way, you do not get the tax credit. But either way, keep both deals separate. What happens is, this is what happens when people fall in for the trap. They combine everything. Here's your selling price, Mr. Customer, and you bring this all the way down. Here's the trade allowance that we give you. You heard their word, trade allowance, right? You heard that trade allowance we give you, what brings you all the way down to this right here. Two numbers that you're going to look at that bottom is going to be two numbers. One, if you owe anything, because we have to put that back into what you owe because we paying that off for you. We just minusing that at the top. And here's your new bottom line. Or if you don't owe anything on your vehicle, it's going to minus that at the bottom and give you a lesser bottom line. That's step two. That is where you're trying to get to. So let's go back over all this again. Keep the steps different. Keep the steps different. One more time. Keep the steps different. What you say? Oh, somebody got something to say to y'all. Hold on 1 second.
Yo, listen up. Let me tell you what's up. My man here needs some help, so let me give you the rundown. He's got a GoFundMe page, and he's trying to make moves, but he needs some support to make it happen, so let's all groove. He's been working hard, grinding day and night, but sometimes life throws curveballs, and the going gets tight. He's got big dreams, and he's got a plan, but he needs a little boost to get it off the ground. That's where we all lend a hand. Every little bit counts, from $1 to a dime. Let's show some love and help him cross the finish line. So, if you've got a big heart, and you want to be a part, head on over to his GoFundMe page, and make a start. Let's show him we care, and we've got his back. Let's help him reach his goals, and get back on track. With your support, he'll be unstoppable. He'll be able to make his dreams come true, and you'll be a part of it all, just like he knew. So, what do you say? Let's make it happen, let's show some love, and let's get it poppin'.
Go to his GoFundMe page right now, and let's make magic happen somehow.
So once again, you all, today we talked about two of the steps that you have to do when you're buying a car. One, do your research. Do your research. Do your research. Two, we talked about the trade-in. We talked about the traps on what they can do for your trade-in. We talked about how they devalue your trade-in. We talked about steps that you can take to get the value of your trade-in. By taking to at least 3 different places to get a value on your trade-in. Also going online, putting in the correct information about your trade-in, so that you are armed with what you're supposed to be getting for your trade-in. Third, keep both deals separate. Buying of the car is separate. Get into that bottom number, and then with your trade-in, adding that number, having the bottom lines for that number. If you follow these 2 steps so far with me, you all, in the book, so far I've already probably saved you a couple of $1,000 just on that part alone. I know for a fact at least $3,000 just on that process. So I hope you see that I'm worth investing in. Once again, just like Street Talk just told you, just go to my GoFundMe page, make sure that you read my bio and see if I'm fundable, not fundable, investable. And for me, and being an entrepreneur in today's market. Hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in for me. And we're going to get in more about the book later on. But for now, I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow at 10:15, where we're going to be talking about more about my untold story and avoiding the traps of the car industry. Y'all have a great night. Talk to you soon. Look out for my motivation. I'll be putting them on throughout the night and tomorrow. Good night.